Hi Virgo, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your mid-month money and career tarot reading for the month of March 2022. So mid-March, if you will. Thank you so much for joining me. And do keep in mind this is general, so just take what resonates, okay? And I do want to thank you in advance for your likes, comments, and subscriptions if you haven't done so already. Your love and support is more than appreciated. And as well, to book a personal reading with myself, just reach out via email. The options, pricing, and that email are all down below in the description box, and I will definitely get that started for you. Okay. I mean, getting the vibe and being told that you're not fully satisfied in the second half of the month, or this month in general, but I'm loving your energy and I always appreciate it. After I just did 2 other readings that were a bit stressful and on edge. Anyways, the overall message I received for you, Virgo, for your mid-money and career reading, horribly put, a shocking inflow of money. A shocking inflow of money. Beautiful. Who doesn't want to hear that? Now we're going to put this to the side and keep it simple. Jump right into it by pulling some tarot from the, they're telling me Gilded deck, which is not true, the Lightseers deck. We have the World card and the Ace of Pentacles at the split deck. You're going to find that you are seeing your world change in a lot of ways. The company you work for could be transforming before your eyes, changing policies or just switching up positions, you know, promoting people, waiting for your chance to jump to a new position, or just wanting a raise in one way, shape, or form. You could feel as if you're just needing a new job in a lot of ways, right? Or just wanting to upgrade or see your business skyrocket to where it needs to be. However it works for you, it just feels like luck is on your side in the second half of the month in more than one way. And you're being pushed to recognize that these changes, these developments are elevating you towards a new level of success. At the very, very least in the second half of the month, if you're not experiencing that success per se, or all of it, an inflow of money that just seems a bit shocking or surprising in one way, shape, or form. Beautiful. Okay. They're saying it's going to be a good second half of the month, even if you're a bit burnt out. An underlying focus on your happily ever after, on wanting that fulfillment, you know, that perfect business situation, the ultimate goals, the perfect job for you, could even be the perfect situation for your family or for yourself living wise, all of which could just be on your mind at this time, naturally. Yeah, so as you take a deep breath in the second half of the month, we have the Emperor card, the Five of Cups, and the Page of Swords. A push to recognize that you are a planner, or to remember that about oneself as a Virgo. You are very, very analytical, and there's no exception, excuse me, when it comes to the second half of the month. Planning, thinking thoroughly, potentially overthinking to an extent, but expecting the worst for whatever reason, especially in the middle of the second half of the month. The first week is what they're saying, so the third week of the month. Thinking about where to put your game piece in this game of life, this game, you know, feeling like you have to be super strategic and overly plan and think like 7 steps ahead, right? Not necessarily the case. It's good to think ahead, it's good to plan, it's good to be strategic. But it feels like this level of money flowing in, the success that you get a taste of in the second half of the month, is to kind of help you relax and potentially motivate you to keep moving forward, but not to overly, to remind you not to overstress, right? To over plan, because at times you may plan for a step so ahead of time that could completely change in one's mind when that time comes, or when you're a few steps behind that rather than 7 is just the number I was given. And the reason I'm getting 7 is now because luck is on your side, okay? 1777, look up that angel number meaning. But anyways, moving right along, try not to focus on what's not working so much as well, that you don't enjoy or make the best out of where you're at. It feels like there are certain positives about where you work, but also some negatives. Makes sense, right? There's some positives about where you live, but there's some negatives. Try to recognize the negatives to the point where you want to upgrade or make certain improvements in one way, shape, or form, but don't overly focus on the negatives to the point where you can't enjoy or just kind of recognize. It feels like the negatives could overshadow the positives, all right? You need to enjoy the present moment until you make your way to the best in one way, shape, or form, or see some improvements come to be, however it works for you. But with the Page of Swords, it feels like you're doing a lot of research, learning. You could be doing some training at your job. It feels like you will have a lot of creative ideas towards the end of the month, and they need to be kept on the down low. Nobody needs to know. It's not even a matter of who can be trusted. I mean, maybe for some of you Virgos, but it just feels like there's like up to 4 really important ideas that you need to write down. Put them to the side, close that notebook, and come back to them when you can implement them, or feel as if it's time to sort of utilize them in one way, shape, or form. People could make you second guess them, or potentially just, for some of you, even utilize them for themselves. You may even find that you end up seeing that happen in your job or just in somebody else's business, and it's like, well, damn, I should have kept it to myself, right? Anyway, so the Page of Wands, it just feels like you are leaving a stage of your working career, your money situation where you were a bit anxious, being pushed to just throw that up in the air or just release what isn't working for you at this time in one way, shape, or form. What you're planning for, what you want to move away from, or just improve in one way, shape, or form feels a bit slow in progression, right? This is purposeful, okay? Things may slow down in the 3rd week of the month in a lot of ways, but not so much in the last week of the month. You're going to see that that is purposeful for you to take a moment to heal. Don't take it as a chance to overthink or to speed your mind up. When the around you starts to slow down, even if you're still working or whatever the case may be, try to simplify one's mind and just recover, heal, because things are going to pick back up towards the end of the month. And with the 5 of Wands coming out, it just feels like there's a bit of conflict in a living situation towards the end of the month. It may be the people you work with, or just the amount you have to accomplish. It could be literally all of the above or some of which. But it feels like there's also you learning more about how things have been a bit of a never-ending battle, and why that is, and how that's going to change moving forward. I just feel a level of frustration at times in the second half of the month in regards to people not cooperating, or just feeling like you have to put in more work than you're paid for. But I do feel like you're getting this random inflow of money from time to time throughout the month. So try to focus on that rather than the extra work that you have to get done, or just the amount of work that you put on your own shoulders if you're a business owner, okay? Your energy coming out. So you're going to feel like yourself, they're saying for the majority of the remainder of the month, being pushed to recognize that you're strongest in your alone time. And that's not a bad thing. Or you just feel as if you can heal the best, regain that glow in an important way when you step back. Some of you recognizing you need to be somebody who works with no people around, and that's fine. Why do you think I like doing what I do here with from the comfort of my home? Anyways, the 10 of Swords coming out as well, being pushed to recognize what needs to come to rest. And again, there's this sort of feeling where you just find this simplicity, where you don't have to prove a lot to other people or impress a lot of people, or you don't feel the energy disturbing your work approach or your thought process. So then again, reminding you once again, not to stress oneself out, because there's a lot of people that will do that for you as you're thinking thoroughly about a gift of abundance you truly desire in the form of a new investment or a new job, or both, okay? Let's keep pulling. Ooh, yeah, it just feels like you don't fit in somewhere, and that's a beautiful thing. Trust that, okay? You don't want to fit in everywhere. There's some places where you don't fit in, and it's a beautiful push from the universe to just keep it moving right along, or to upgrade in a lot of ways. It could be, once again, your living situation, a job, however it works for you. You could also be stressing over your money, and allow yourself to simplify your mind and understand that that's going to make it harder for you to manifest, and it could have potentially up until this point created certain blockages. The Knight of Wands coming out, you're being pushed to recognize that you know what you're doing, and when you're most passionate, you're the most conveying, you're the most addictive in energy, right? It doesn't mean you have to overly exude oneself, because I feel like you're good at just balancing things out and not feeling overly energetic, right? And when you're feeling overly energetic, so be it. You know, everyone has different placements within their chart, but you're being pushed to recognize, to beat to the drum of your own approach, your own way of doing things, and just to prove people wrong in a sort of calm, cool, and collected manner, as you normally once would have done. And I just feel like you're being pushed to just passionately go after something new, okay? Once again, to eliminate what no longer works for you, isn't aligned with you anymore, or never was, period. And you know what that is for you. With the Two of Wands, you're just going to be thinking a lot in the second half of the month about what you long for, what would help you acquire this happily ever after, this fulfillment, as they keep drawing me to this Ten of Cups card here. A lot of you could be thinking about traveling, right? Where you want to go, what you want to achieve. Could be thinking about moving to a faraway residence that would maybe disappoint some people, but all the meanwhile, it just lights your mind on fire. I need to have patience when it comes to acquiring what you truly desire at this time, and recognize that you can manifest whatever it is you truly want, and is going to spark a death and rebirth within oneself in a beautiful manner, okay? It doesn't mean you're going to completely change, but it feels like your situation needs a death and rebirth in one way, shape, or form. Just keep putting in that effort and do what's necessary, and don't stress once again, as it is the second half of the month where you're receiving a shocking inflow of money to remind you to keep moving forward towards the bigger and the better, okay? So I hope this was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go have yourself an amazing rest of the month, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Virgo.